Hey guys, how's it going? We'll give people a chance to jump on here, but how's things going with you, Zoltan?
Good evening, Pat. Things are well. Been a busy last 3 weeks for me, but yeah, things are going good.
Yeah, you moved offices or something, right?
Yeah, me and my wife have a medical practice, and we had to move offices, so it was hectic. We just actually had our first day open in the new office today.
Today was it? Oh man, so you're burning the candles at both ends a little bit, right?
Yeah, we were there last night at like 11:30. We left,
Oh man,
and then had to be there again at 7 a.m.
Long days.
it looks
Yeah.
like you had time to do some facial hair maintenance, though.
Oh yeah, my mother-in-law was in town for my son's birthday on Sunday, so I got a haircut too. So looking fresh.
Oh, right on,
Yeah.
right on. So what's new with you, Ricardo? How's it going?
Colorado living, man.
Yeah,
Trying to get used to the weather out here. Trying to get used to the cold water fishing out here, man.
yeah.
But I got a chance to get out there this yesterday. Caught a few 3 pounders, so that was nice. I guess according to Colorado, that's some hogs. So
Yeah.
Did you
uh,
move out to Colorado?
yeah, I moved out here mid-February.
Oh, wow.
So just now, finding some time to be able to get out in the water.
What
So
what part of
it's been nice.
Colorado did you move
I'm
to?
in Colorado Springs, man.
Colorado Springs. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty nice out here. Have family out here, so enjoying the grandkids.
Yeah, beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful.
right on. What's the temperatures like, water temperature and that kind of thing right now?
Water is mid-50.
Oh wow! So I mean, the spawn's just really coming on.
Yeah, they were staging up, and that's how I found them. So I'm gonna get back out there this tomorrow and see how it goes.
Yeah, right on. You're going to get on the water.
Yeah,
I was,
yeah, go for it.
oh, I was going to say that. Yeah, I'm getting a chance to get on the water tomorrow too. So I'm going to drag my kayak out, first time in it for months, and you guys will know if it went good or not by if I'm registered for Alamo tomorrow night. If you see my name registered, then you know it went well.
Nice. Hopefully,
Yeah.
All right. Well, still waiting for a few people to jump on. I know it's a little different now because Facebook and StreamYard kind of threw a curve at me. They don't allow us to stream directly to a group page anymore. So I can stream to YouTube channels. I can stream to just a Facebook group. And then I can share that Facebook group, or excuse me, a Facebook page. I keep messing this up, but you can stream share that Facebook page to your group. But I think it's harder for people to find us now. So I think the viewership will be down a little bit until people start getting it figured out. But I think once we have a little bit of consistency, it'll start working out. But while we're waiting here, want to thank Copper State Tackle. They've been really hooking us up. They contributed a bunch of tackle for the raffle this past weekend. I think the raffle prizes were really good. I want to thank the rest of our sponsors out here: Rico, Labina Lures, Persuader Bass Bait, Southwest Custom Tackle, Copper State Baits, and Minesweeper Lure Company. Thank you guys a bunch. Really appreciate it. Did you guys see? Well, I'm going to hold up on that. I'm going to pull this up for a second. Coming up next for Bass Nation qualifiers is May 18th at Alamo Lake State Park. I have the group use area reserved. It's a big area, but it doesn't have a lot of facilities. It's got, I think, 4 vaulted toilets, a Ramada, and a grill, but I don't think there's not any power, there's not water or anything like that. And it's going to be $15 a vehicle per night. I have it reserved for Thursday night and Friday night. And then after the tournament, we'll have our awards there. I think that'll work out best. So the guy I've been dealing with on that at Alamo, he's off Monday, Tuesdays. He'll be back around tomorrow. So expect to see a full post from me about that. Let me see. Thank you all for everything. Ricardo, good evening and welcome to Colorado. I hope you enjoy your stay and find your path on the water. All right.
It's awesome.
And Jason, thank you all for everything. Thank you guys for fishing with us. You guys are the important ones, man. We're here to help you guys out. I'm going to go ahead and pull everybody in here because I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about a lot of other things right now, but stick around till the end because we're going to go over Angler of the Year, season points, and all of that, and give you guys a good chance to see where you stand and where you stand with your opportunity to fish in our state championship. So be sure to hang on to the end and watch that. So right now, I'm going to pull the other guys in, and we're going to get started with awards. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before I pull these guys in?
We got a team tournament coming up May 11th. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's already up on Tourney X, so just a continuation of the team series we already started.
All right. All right.
Let's do it. Let's talk to these guys.
Here is Bryce, Mark Kyle,
Yes.
Steve Quillen. How do you say your last name, Steve?
Quillen.
Quillen. All right. And then we've got down here Paul Travis. We got a black screen for now. Paul was kind of locking up a little bit ago. So,
there he is.
there he is. Can you hear us, Paul? I think we might have a little delay.
It's not working right now?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Yeah, there seems like there's a little bit of delay, but yeah, there you go, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, I can.
Domo.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to hang on. I get distracted by the different pages here. So it was a pretty good tournament. You know, we had 41 guys show up. We had 9 bags over 90 inches. The big fish of the tournament. What did we just lose? I think we just lost Paul. Okay, when he comes back. Big fish of the tournament was right here, 23 and a half. Nice. That was John Andrews that caught that. Yeah, I think we got Paul.
Better?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
maybe,
All right.
that seems better.
Hang
That
on
was
just a
good
second.
fish,
Let me
man.
fix my phone real fast.
All right. While you're doing that, I mean, this was pretty outstanding. Top 5 here, 96.75, 92.25, 94 and a half, 93.75, and 92.75. That's some pretty solid bags.
Some
Except
serious.
for that 15.
Wait a minute, who's got the 15?
What do you think, man?
Man,
Yeah.
that's not bad though.
We'll get there. Sorry. Just you. That was a lot smaller than all you guys' fish up there.
Yeah. So hang on, I'm going back to comments. So John Andrews caught that first place big fish. He had 89.75 inches altogether. His big fish was 23 and a half inches long. And John's going to be taking home a check for $246. And something else I need to talk about here for just a second. We did some changing around. We were using PayPal for everything, and now we're using Stripe. Stripe does things a little bit differently, and then it's linked up to my business bank account. And I don't have a good way to do an electronic file transfer. So you guys are getting checks in the mail. They went out today, and checks are coming to you snail mail. But hopefully, we're going to get that business account hooked up with Zelle, and I'll be able to, not have to put things in the mail. So we're going to go from there up to our 5th place, which was Steve Quillen with 92.75 inches. And Steven, you're going to get a check for $202.
All right. Happy about that.
Right on, man. So how'd your day go? And how'd you catch them?
Well, so I'd never fished that section of the Colorado River ever. So, but it sets up a lot like some stuff in Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn, like the shallow water stuff that I'm accustomed to fishing. So, early morning, I got on a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait bite, catching a lot of fish doing that. And then, as I transitioned throughout the day and the sun got up, it basically just became a punch bite, just punching reed mats on reed edges and I was just catching a lot of fish doing that. And I caught a few on a Cinco or whatever. But all in all, it just reminded me a lot of like little East Texas, Louisiana action that I'm used to. So it was a great tournament, and I enjoyed it, and can't wait to fish a few more.
Awesome.
Is that where you're from?
I'm from Tucson, but I spent 23 years in the Army. So I was stationed out of Fort Polk, Louisiana, now Fort Johnson or whatever it's called. So Toledo Bend. So I got to fish like Kentucky Lake, Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, basically transitioned all throughout the United States, but got to fish like all these big time lakes. And so where kind of my home base was like East Texas, like central to East Texas. So I got to fish a lot of those bodies of water. So that's where I feel pretty comfortable fishing.
Man, my camera is like going all over the place with trying to adjust light. So I guess we'll just live with it. Cool. How long have you been back then? Are you retired or?
Yeah, I'm retired now. So I did 23 years in the infantry, and then retired in like 22 and came back. And funny story, I moved back, put all my stuff in a storage unit. Like 3 or 4 months into having it there, it was broken into and robbed. So I like lost like $10,000 worth of fishing gear. So I then had to rebuild everything, and so I'm finally just getting back into fishing tournaments. I just joined the club, so I'm glad to be here. Can't wait to meet some more guys and fish a few more tournaments.
Yeah, man, you're just down the road for me, so we'll have to get out on the water. Kent, you're supposed to be in here, man.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, 23 years military is one thing. 23 years in the infantry, bro. My hat's off to you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
For your service.
Look at that stash, dude. That says it all.
Bro, I was a first sergeant when I got out. So
baby.
I had to be all clean shaved, and I haven't cut my hair in like a year. Got that? Yeah.
You're living now, dude.
How long you been retired now?
Oh, a couple of years now. So
Cool, man.
I joined the military out of Tucson, so that's where I'm from. And then, but I honestly, like my bass fishing career, like I never really got going here. I mean, we go to Roosevelt and catch crappies like crazy, but like we never like really bass fish. Spent a lot of time in the saltwater off San Diego, but it wasn't until like I got to Louisiana and I got to fish like Toledo Bend, like back in the heyday. And really, man, I just fell in love with it. So,
Yeah, right on.
How many stumps have you hit on Toledo?
oh, so all you guys running them bow mount trolling motors? Let me tell you.
I put mine up, dude.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the problem. I fished an event on Lake Fork, a bass fishing event on Lake Fork, where like 2 hours into the morning, it popped out. So. It ripped. So I had a Hobie Pro Angler 14 at the time. I ended up having to go in and put a reinforcement plate on the inside just to keep it from, because there's so many stumps down there that like you can't you can't see them.
Yeah,
That scares me back there so much. The bow mount, I put it up most of the day and don't even mess with it.
Yeah. So like everybody I know, I basically we all started putting like reinforcement plates on the inside, like drilling through, mounting a reinforcement plate in there. And then that way, but once that happened, no issues at all.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, man, there's so many stumps. You don't even see them. Nonstop.
You're in 30 feet of water at Toledo Bend and just.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a straight stump field, like all the way through.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm trying to. Let's see. I'm trying to get Kent Stoker here. Oh, you guys go ahead. I'm just in the middle of trying to do this.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm having like hard time with the internet stuff in my house, so that's why I keep moving around.
You're good, bro. Take your time. Mr.
Take it
Quinn,
away, Z.
any sponsors or any shops you want to shout out, or inspiration or mentors or anybody?
No, just my only inspiration is Bryce's facial hair.
I love your mustache.
Sometimes I'm inspired to see what
Hey, where'd you meet Adam then?
We were stationed together.
That's okay. I thought so over
so
there.
I think you guys fished the 10 house together, right? And so like,
Yeah.
when he found out I was moving back to Arizona, he's like, "Yo, go see my boy Bryce." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah, dude. I didn't really see you down there except for awards, but
yeah." So I just fished Martinez is all I fished. Like I was
Yeah.
like, so I don't know. You guys tell me. Is the river usually flowing like that? Is that like a normal flow, or was it like extra strong?
Pretty
No,
normal.
that's pretty
I
normal.
didn't go out in it.
Yeah. Well, because I just dabbled around Martinez, but I went out in it and went and checked some stuff. But I was just like, man, this seems like it's because I got an NK 300 that I'm rocking, so I was just like scoot along, but.
Yeah,
'Cause I heard. Go ahead, Pat.
I was just going to say that when we put that on the schedule, it gave me a little anxiety. I was like, man, guys are going to come out of Fisher's Landing or whatever, paddling and hit that current and just like get washed all the way down to the dam. But it ended up working out. We haven't had any big problems so far.
And I heard it was stronger this time than the last time. We were there in February. I fished I used to anyway all the time, the Parker Strip just below Havasu. And I mean, you almost have to have a pedal drive, to fish that. I mean, there's certain areas you can fish, but if you want to get in the river and the current, I mean, you can't fish and paddle. You're almost trolling down river at that point.
Yeah, I'd like to put something on it, Parker, but I'm a little spooked.
I'd love to put it out there right now.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, I mean, we'll talk about it, Pat, but set it up where there's a few launch sites. There's a pickup bus in the middle, a pickup bus at Blue Water. Float to here if you have to,
There's Mr.
I think it's doable.
Hate it.
What's going on, Kent?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, man. Good. Glad you jumped on.
Yeah.
You're not alone anymore, Mark.
Yep. That's good. Great minds think alike.
Yep.
Steve, I think, do you go Steve or Steven?
Whatever. Q, Steve, Steven.
Yeah, well, we've already got a Q. We've got Quinlan Benavides, so you're going to have to be Steve or Steven. Well, I don't know.
No matter
Yeah. Yeah, I think you've earned the Q if you want it. I forgot I think Zoltan already asked you if you had any sponsors or social media you wanted to call out.
No.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for jumping on. I'm going to move on to our fourth place finisher, Mr. Mark Kyle, with 93.75 inches. And Mark's got a check in the mail for $303.
Right on. That sounds great. Yeah.
So,
well, congratulations there, Mark. Looking at your fish here, you actually have a pretty good average size. You didn't crack one over 20, but you did mention that you lost more fish than you usually do, but you still came out with 93.75 inches, which is pretty impressive in my opinion.
Yeah, it was really a fun bite. I didn't get to practice. I guess it didn't really matter the way the wind was blowing. It looked like Thursday and Friday. I had a great week though. This week, nothing to do with fishing other than it kind of got in the way of my fishing, but it was worth it, is both my kids graduated from, my daughter graduated from GCU. So Friday I had to be at GCU graduation. And then my son graduated from Lincoln Technical School. So I had the graduations on Friday, and then Sunday evening I had a big graduation party. So I had a bunch of people because I had so much stuff going on. So squeezing in the tournament was kind of tricky, but Martinez is so fun to fish. But anyway, that was a fun weekend for me. But what I did is there was still a lot of bedfish I noticed, but I noticed the bluegill had really come in and started spawning. So, and I saw a lot of bass just kind of hanging around the bluegill beds. So I started swimming a jig, and it seemed like the faster I swam it, the better they would hit it. And I was pretty much running it right into the surface. The problem was I don't know. I normally don't lose them on a jig like that, but I don't know. A few of them were my fault. I pitched out because I'd seen about a 4 or 5 pounder. And so I threw my jig over, swam it by it, came up, smoked it. I got it in, and I fought the fish too fast and tried to hurt. And you know me, I don't have a net yet, so I haven't figured out how to net from that thing yet. So I'm still learning. So I tried to hurt and grab the fish, and he just kind of shook his head one time, and he was off. So I'm like, I made the next cast, hooked another one, and I said, I'm just going to swing this one in. So you swing it in. The problem is I'm on a board, a paddle board, right? A stand-up paddle board. So I don't really have gunnels. So when he hits the deck, he comes off and just bounces out the other side. So that's kind of, so I caught a lot of fish and had a great time. I just, I didn't capitalize as well as I should have, but it was super fun though. It was a really fun jig bite because it was, I guess the guys, I'm not going to say how they won it, but they were fishing a little bit shallower than me. I'll just tell you that. And I was fishing about 1 inch deep. So
what do you like for a swim jig? Kind of weight.
What's that?
What do you like for a swim jig as far as like weight and color and that?
What's the name of that jig, Bryce? I got it at Copper State Tackle, I think Thursday or before I went over. The dirty jig, is that what it's called, Bryce?
Dirty jig.
That's one of the ones in there, yeah. Because
That's the one I was using.
One,
Yeah.
but the swim jig or the swim jig one is it's either that or like the precision jig.
No, it was. I got the dirty tackle swim jig. That's the ones I was using, and it was just kind of a bluegill color. And then I had a big craw. I had like big craw with a lot of lift on the back, so it would keep it up high in the water column when I swim. Like where I was going through, you'd see these little bluegill just shooting through the grass, So the bass were just coming up smoking it. It was really fun.
Is that so? I'm just thinking about. You said you lost some fish. Is that like maybe a heavier weed guard and maybe a heavier hook than you're used to using, or just kind of just?
I don't know. I talked to a lot of the guys that lost fish. So the guys leading, I think, lost some fish too. And a buddy of mine, he lost like a 7 pounder right at the. I don't know if they just weren't getting it good. Maybe that front. With the high pressure, they just weren't getting as good as they normally would. And I opted for normally I use braided line when I swim a jig, but I thought, man, I'll get more bites if I used a fluorocarbon. So I went with a 20-pound fluorocarbon, and maybe I would have got a better hook in them if I would have used braid, but I don't know. Yeah, that's fishing. So it was fun though.
Well, I would say that earning a check in a tournament after a glorious weekend of your kids graduating college, that's just way on top right there.
Yeah, I lost a fish on a spinner bait like first thing in the morning, like a really good one. And I just smiled and thought, you know what? I don't have any college payments next month. I said, it doesn't matter how today goes, whether I catch a fish or not. I do not have to make a payment to Lincoln Tech or GCU next month. So life is good,
Life is good. Nice.
Yeah.
First check, you actually get to keep in your pocket.
Yep, exactly.
That's funny.
Cool.
Right on. So you got some sponsor, or were you going to say something, Z?
Oh, I was just saying, good for him. That's awesome story.
Yeah, it's fun. But no, I don't. My wife is my sponsor, Jonna. So my beautiful wife. That's who I thank.
All right. And you're not a big social media guy, right?
No, not really.
Okay.
I just shop on there.
Just shop. You don't have any Instagram or anything like that?
No.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, cool, man. I'm sure glad to have you fishing with us, Mark. I really appreciate
it. I'm really enjoying it. I love it. And I appreciate you guys. And Ricardo, I really appreciate all your hard work you do. It's really good, man. Amen. I appreciate that.
Ricardo's the man.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
All right, cool, man. I'm gonna move on then to third place. with 94.50 inches, Mr. Kent Stoker. And Kent has got a check in the mail for $403.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet, man. Thank you very much for coming out and fishing with us.
Yeah, I had fun. You got a lot of good sticks there in Arizona, so it was fun competing against you guys.
Yeah, well, they must have some pretty good sticks in your neck of the woods too, man, to get you honed up that good.
We've got some good guys here, and yeah, we got a good group here in Southern Nevada Kayak, and trying to get more guys to come down and fish your events too. I know a couple of guys have come down in the past, but yeah, we've got some good guys here too. We've got a good smallmouth fishery here on Lake Mojave. I don't know if you've seen some of the fish I've been posting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
We've got an awesome smallmouth fishery on Mojave. You ever get a chance to come fish it, you guys need to come fish it.
So that's another one. Like Bryce brought up Parker a little while ago. Mojave's kind of in the same camp for me as I would love to put on a tournament there, but that lake kind of scares me because it's windy so much.
It does. The wind kicks up and the waves can get 3 and 4 foot rollers coming through there. You just got to be careful. But it's definitely doable. We've held tournaments down there in the kayak. You just got to watch the weather.
Yeah, it just it worries me to put together like a state championship qualifier. You know, I feel like we'd have to block it out, say it's going to be on either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, whichever one of those days is the best weather.
Yeah.
You know,
It's tough. Yeah.
yeah. But I've seen over the years, I've seen all the pictures of smallmouth out of there. It looks like a phenomenal fishery.
Yeah. We just had one of our guys for the month long finish up the day today by catching a 22-inch today.
A 22-inch smallie?
Yeah.
Dang.
Who was it, Kent?
Victor Escobedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Victorious Fishing. He goes by on Instagram.
Man, that I would love to catch something like that. Do you have any idea what that fish weighed? It's got to be a 6 or.
It's pushing 6 pounds, probably.
Yeah, 6 pound smallmouth would be fun to catch.
Catch they
Fun.
fight like heck. They're fun to catch.
So you fish on the boat side too, right? You fish Bass Nation and some other stuff.
I do. I'm actually the tournament director for Nevada Bass Anglers, and we're the same with you. We're a Bass Nation affiliate. So I fish on the big boat side. I fished local tournaments here. I just got a first place finish on the American Bass Angler big boat side last week. So that was fun. On Mojave. I had 22 and a half pound.
Oh, nice.
There.
What was 22 and a half? What was your big fish out of that?
Big fish on that was a 5.5 pound smallmouth.
5.5 pound smallmouth. Oh man, I can only imagine catching a fish like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you ever come down this way to fish in Arizona before?
I fished your tournament last, I want to say fall at Saguaro.
Okay.
That was fun. I've never fished Saguaro before. That's an awesome fishery. I've heard nightmare stories about it in the spring and summer with all the boaters there, but you guys have got some big fish there at Saguaro, and I fished Alamo before, so I'm looking forward to fishing Alamo. That's a fun fishery to fish at.
Yes, sir.
Look forward to getting down there again.
Alamo is a fun lake, and then Zoltan with the club side of things, he's got a month long that's ending today, and I think. I'm not sure, but if I had to guess, I think you're seeing some saguaro and canyon fish in the bag. And I think what's leading right now? I think 114 3/4 inches, something like that, Zoltan.
Yeah, ridiculous. The top 3 guys all have over 100 inches. I want to say even over 105.
Yeah.
Got it here real quick.
Yeah, wild. I mean, there's just some big fish in there. But yeah, those lakes get finicky. I think especially Canyon. What do you think, Bryce? Canyon and Saguaro. It seems like Canyon gets finicky.
Yeah, I mean they both kind of do, but I mean there's all the golden algae talk, so I've been staying away. I haven't been there since we went last, but I mean both those lakes they got huge fish. I mean, my biggest is from Canyon, 10.5, and that was like 117 and change or something like that for a month long.
For a month
So I mean,
long?
and that was just Canyon and Saguaro back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there. I mean, I moved out here right by Saguaro just to be out here. So
Yeah.
but I'd rather fish Martinez right now.
Martinez is game on, man.
Yeah. So, but it's just, I don't know. It's some weird stuff in the water. Everyone's talking. I don't know really what it is.
Yeah,
So
these golden
I just
algae.
stay away.
When that golden
Yeah.
algae stuff goes on, it gets pretty rough.
Yeah.
Matt, what about you? Do you have social media or sponsors you'd like to thank?
No, just once again, I appreciate you guys having me. It was a lot of fun. And kind of shout out to my wife. She puts up with me and lets me fish I'm fishing every weekend doing something. So I got to thank her above everybody else. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think our wives tolerate a lot from us going to lakes all the time.
They do. They do.
And all the tackle orders.
And then some.
That's all right.
That's some for sure. Well, thank you very much
My son's named Parker, so and then some.
Ask Kent a question because he has all 19-inch fish. Did you call your way up to that? How did you catch them, or did you just catch 19s all day?
I was throwing a big 10-inch spro rat. Missed a giant on that. Scared the heck out of me. Thing blew up on the water. Had another one, a little 14-incher grab its tail. I almost got it to the boat. I got tired and then picked up the spinner bait. Caught some fish on that. I did pull up from there. My biggest fish came on just swimming a jig. Like the other guy said, just swimming the jig around them bluegill spawns. And same thing, they come up and just smash it. You could let it sit still, had to be swimming it, and they'd smash it. And then at the end of the day, when I caught those other two 19s, I was just targeting the shoreline that had shade and hitting the shade spots is what I was doing.
Oh, well done. It worked.
It worked out well.
Yes,
Yeah, right on, man. That sounds like a fun day for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to move on to our second place here with 95.25 inches, Mr. Bryce Gibbs. Bryce,
Running out there. Sorry, guys.
say again?
Parker started running outside. He opened the door by himself, so we're good now. Sorry, he did not have my attention.
So, Bryce has second place, and he's got second place big fish. So for basic payout, he's getting $625, and then for second place big fish, which was a 21 1/4, he's getting another $164 for that one. So you're getting a check for $789.
Nice. Heck yeah. So I mean, my day out there. I mean, I got to pre-fish at least one day. So I was out there Friday in the wind and all that. So I actually ran into Mark Kyle at Copper State. We're getting a few more things, and hey, aren't you supposed to be pre-fishing? And I'm like, yeah, we're stuck here when everyone else is probably sticking them already. But so at least I had one pre-fishing day, and I went out there maybe 4 hours, and I mean, I threw frogs, I threw jigs, I threw a hammer, 6-inch Megalodon, and I mean, I was getting bit on everything, just everything. I was like, all right, these fish are active. You move it, they'll eat it. And I found some clear water, and I was just walking a frog, and there was this one instance where there was 3 19+ inch fish, and I was walking a popping frog, really, just like not going far distance, but just back and forth really quick. And I had one grab it, let it spit it out, walk it again. Another one would grab it. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm throwing a frog the whole freaking day. They were eating it a lot better Friday. Saturday morning we start out. I start with the popping frog, and I lost my first 4. And it was just, some was me, just hook sets. I wasn't ready. And then I had one. I was like, all right, I'm ready. I just skipped the frog under this tree, She sucks it up, and it was one of those slurps. It wasn't a big blow up. It was just I yanked on it, and I broke off on a straight braid. And I think she took me behind a rock, and it was just I had her on, and she like just sawed me off, and I'm like, oh man! But that was a bluegill colored frog, and that was the last color like that I had. And then so after that, I went to the Spro flapping frog, which I have right here, and it's just straight white, and just creeping it. Yes, I mean these legs will just kick, and it makes like a whopper plopper sound to an extent. But it's I have a few of them on the boat, and they make different sounds. So like once they get broken in, it pops a little bit louder, but once they get smashed too much, it's a different sound. So like I stopped getting blown up after a few fish, so I had to switch to a brand new one. And it's just fish it fast, fish it slow, skip it. But I didn't have a fish in the boat till like 2 hours in. And I'm spinning out. I've had 6 to 7 blowups, no fish, and I'm like, come on, man! Like I already lost 100 inches of fish, and I pull up in this next little bay, and I stick the first 20 and a quarter. Cast after that, it's like a 14 incher, and then fish that cove, nothing else. Missed 2 more blowups. At this point, I'm just like, what? Why aren't they eating it? Like they were sucking it in. They weren't letting go the day before. But I ended up catching a 20 and a quarter, and then a 21 and a quarter. So then I had like 4 fish. But I was just at that point, like the 21 and a quarter, she was sitting right in the Thule line, and I saw her about 10 feet out, and I threw that flapping frog over her. And I ripped it once, and she looked up, a little twitch again, and I just watched her eat it, go down. She had it, and then just jacked her. But I love frog fishing. If I could frog fish every tournament, I definitely would. It's one of my favorite ways to fish by far. It's something else. Watching them blow up, and a lot of times they blow up, and you just get all antsy, and you have to really. Talk to yourself. Don't set yet. Make sure they go. Make sure they have it, and then get them. But I was watching them come up, eat it, take it down. All right, we're good, and then get them. But I don't know. I had a lot of fun down there. I would prefer every tournament the rest of the year down there if I could. I mean, it's so freaking fun, man. But I do want to say with the popping frog, this isn't the color, but I trim up the legs. And you see one's tiny, and this one's about halfway cut. So that way when I throw it out there and move it, I could walk it back and forth in a much, not a great distance. It just sits there and goes back and forth, barely moving back towards me. It helps me get a lot of bites. And I see guys that they'll have their frogs on, and they're like the long legs on and stuff like that. A lot of times they grab the legs. So there's not much to grab except for the body on that one. So, but yeah, I mean, I had fun. I lost fish. I couldn't get rid of that 15. I boat flipped a few that hit the front of my deck and went back in the water. And I laughed at one point. I just laughed. I'm like, what? Keep PG. What the heck's going on today, man?
Do you find yourself when you catch fish on a frog that you just boat flip them? You don't try and net them?
I'll net them. Yeah. I mean, because on the flapping frog, I'm using a 7.5 heavy, and I mean if I boat flipped that 21, I mean she was 6 plus. If I boat flipped her, I might have broke my rod. But sometimes I'll boat flip them if I'm in really thick stuff. But there was so much open room, I'd get them close and then just net them.
I find that for myself, fishing a frog is that you're usually fishing way in the junk, and it's pretty close. Sometimes it's longer casts, but a lot of times you're pretty close to them. You set the hook, you're on braid, you're on a stout rod, set the hook, and you get them to the boat, and they are fresh. They are hot, and net them, And especially in a kayak, I feel like one hand over here holding the rod, the other arm out here trying to hold the net and get it over there, and I lose those fish all the time. So I'm like 9 times out of 10, wind it and swing it.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of practice just netting fish over the years, and I mean, it started in a sit inside. just keep growing it, Bennett.
Just keep working at it.
But I spent a lot of time just netting fish. I mean, I used to do a lot of light line, flick shake, drop shot stuff in a sit inside or like a sand paddle kayak. And it's just I've always used a net, and back then even it was a big fast boat net. So I spent a lot of time with a net over the years, and I'm definitely more comfortable because once you get them to a certain degree, all you gotta do is you pick them up, you swing, and even if at that point they come off, their head's still coming up towards you.
Yeah.
And if you just dive under them real quick, I mean, Brad's seen me net all kinds of fish that popped off, and it's like, I got it still. So without the net, I'm almost even more confident just lipping them than trying to boat flip them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I mean I think I boat flipped 3 that day, and 2 of them got off.
And 2 of them came off.
So I just, and they weren't 19 plus or anything like that, but I don't know.
They were probably
Definitely easier than that. Yeah. I had and it would have made a difference. I had one that hit the front of my kayak where I store my net. It actually plopped into my net. I dropped my rod, picked my net up, and my net was at an angle, and it just slid right off the top of it, and
yeah,
there's an inch pull. And at that time, I only had 4 anyway. And it was right after the 21. I looked over, saw another one, threw out there, twitch, watched her eat it, and I set too early on that one. But she was, I mean, those small ones you got to be quicker at sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
well, cool, man.
But I had a lot of fun, so can't complain.
You're gonna be at Alamo, right?
Oh yeah,
I know what
I'll
you're
be there.
doing.
I think I'm trying. Yeah, I mean, I'll be doing all kinds of stuff, Pat, just for the audience. But I'll be at Alamo, but I think I'm gonna miss the Roosevelt one. I'm trying to fish that Spro Havasu event.
Oh, the Spro Frog. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same day, so if I can get down there and do that, we'll see. I mean, it's tough, man. Unless Mark Kyle doesn't show up to 2 events, I mean, he's got AOI if he keeps coming.
Yeah, well, we'll cover those points there in just a little bit.
Yeah, but I'd like to thank Copper State. I mean, they're a huge sponsor to me. They're the reason I still keep showing up, to be honest. Obviously, I want to thank Charisse. Just took care of the kids at home on Friday to give me at least 1 free fishing day. Got to see the water and get comfortable. Thank you, babe. Love you. Dobbins Rods. Like to thank Spro, Dakota Lithium. They just sent me some new batteries here a little bit ago, so I didn't have to do the whole generator charge thing. I just popped in a new 100 amp and it was good to go. I think that's really it. So
cool, man. No,
list is getting smaller.
Beard care.
Whatever she puts in the shower, I put a little conditioner of that every once in a while, and Pantene, I think, something like that.
Maybe you can look for a beard cream sponsor next.
Yeah, it's just another thing to put in the car, though, dude. I'm fine. This is probably as cleaned up as you guys see me, because out there, this thing just, there's no taming this thing in the wild, dude.
Well, cool, man. Congrats on getting that 2nd place, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm going to move on here to 1st place. First, I'm going to say for 41 guys, we were able to pay out $2,952. So in 1st place, we got Mr. Paul Travis with 96.75 inches. And Paul has taken home $1,009.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Can you guys hear me? Sorry, I've been having technical difficulties.
You're
Yeah,
good.
you have audio difficulties and I have lighting difficulties. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
And I'm going dark.
Well done, man. So far this year, you're off to a great start because this is like your second first place finish of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, the last one was the Lake Pleasant tournament.
Yes,
The
sir.
Open. Yeah.
Yeah. And didn't you fish the lower gear in between then and now?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, after the top 5, you don't really know, but going by inches, I'm guessing I was probably 7th or 8th.
Okay. The top 10. 2 first places in the top 10. Killing it so far. So how did you
Been
catch
good year so far.
Yeah.
I know I was out there in the boat running around taking pictures, and I pulled into one little area and ran into you there. And I think, what did you say? I found the mother lode or something to that effect.
Yeah. So during practice on Thursday, I launched at Hidden Shores and went into the backwaters and hit a couple of coves. And in both of those coves, I found I was just graphing because I had never been down there. So I was just graphing, and I came across in each cove there was one submerged tree, and both of those trees held fish. During practice, my first fish out of one of them was a 20. And then my second fish was an 18 and a half. And so I left that one alone, moved on to the next little cove area that had a tree. And same thing, like I caught like a 19 and a half out of there. And so I just left it, went and looked at some other spots. And then so tournament day, launched and headed upriver, eating breakfast, not paying attention to my graph, and I passed by where I wanted to start the first cove. And so I went into the second cove and turned around, and by the time I got back to where I wanted to start, there was somebody pretty much sitting right on my spot.
Mm.
And so I went to the opposite side of the cove. There was some sparse toolies, and I was like, well, I'll just wait it out here and see what I can find. And I'd caught a couple of buzzbait fish during practice, and so I cast it into the toolies with the buzzbait, and first fish was my 5th keeper, which was a 18.75. And then I caught like 5 or 6 more just out of this like probably 50 yard stretch of toolies. I had my limit. I had my limit probably within 40 minutes.
Wow.
But 4 of them were pretty small. The tree where I was wanting to fish, the tree opened up. I went over there and I probably caught 10 fish out of there. A couple of them, one of them was my 19. Caught a bunch of 17s out of there that I ended up culling. Then I went to my second spot, and that's where I saw you, Pat. And it was another submerged tree that, you know, I scoped, and it was just loaded. And when Pat showed up, I had already caught like 4 or 5 fish off of there. I think I caught 4 or 5 while Pat was there, and then I ended up catching like 5 more after he left.
Yeah, I watched you catch a few, and I was like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah. So at that point, I think I was sitting at like 86 inches or something, and I had found one bedfish in practice that looked like it was like a 17, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go try to catch her. So it was a mile or so, and this was probably about 11:45 noon, and it was about a mile from where I was. So I ran over there real fast, and second flip in, she ate it, and it ended up being a 20. And then after that, I didn't have anything else. So I was like, I'm just going to go back to that first cove, first tree, see what I can find, and see if it reloaded. And first cast in there was my 20 and a quarter with like 17 minutes left.
So you got a 20 and a quarter and a 20?
Yeah, I believe so. 20 and a quarter, a 20, 19.75. Yeah.
19.5, 18.75, and an 18.
Yeah, that's a solid bag, man. 96 3/4. That's a solid bag.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. I mean, the last time we fished there was, during spawn, and so I went up into Martinez a little bit during practice, but I just couldn't find a bite. I mean, I'm a deep water fisherman. I like, that 20 to or 15 to 30 foot range. This is way out of my comfort zone, and so first tournament was all, I think I got fifth place in that first tournament, and it was just all bedfish. But this one was found something that worked.
Yeah, right on, man. That's a solid day.
Yeah, congratulations.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and thank you guys. This is by far the best tournament circuit that I've ever fished, including KBF. Any of those other ones. This is, for us to have this here locally is we're pretty lucky. And Ricardo, thank you for spending your day and judging our fish for us, and appreciate it.
You're welcome. Man.
Appreciate that compliment. Appreciate you fishing with us, Paul.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys. We wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for you guys showing up and putting out the effort. So I appreciate you all as much as you appreciate the circuit. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
So thank you much.
There'd be no circuit without dudes wanting to fish. So.
Yeah. Very cool, man. How about sponsors and social media?
Yeah, the really only social media I have is my Instagram account, Paul Travis Fishing. No full sponsors, but I am on the Duckett Pro staff, Wu Tungsten Pro staff. Huge shout out to Liar's Corner. They always take care of me. I'm not on any kind of staff with them, but they treat me like I am. And AZ Leadworks, if you guys need any lead drop shot weights or anything, he's a local guy in Phoenix. Best line hooks there are out there, the line clips, and good deals. But other than that, that's it. And my wife, like everyone else, puts up with me, lets me get out as much as I want, and doesn't really complain about it too much, as long as I come home and do the yard and stuff on a Sunday or something.
Yeah, keep up on some of that stuff. That's awesome, man.
Right.
Well, cool. Thank you very much for fishing with us, and I'm sure we're going to see you at Alamo, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yep, I'll be up there hopefully Thursday night.
Yeah. We'll see how things go for me. I'll be up there one way or another. Hopefully, I'm fishing in it, but we'll see.
So the group site that you got, is that the one that is by the Choya ramp, like close to Choya?
Yeah, that's my understanding. And so I'm talking to the guy tomorrow. I've been going back and forth with him on email, and I haven't been able to connect with a phone call. I'd like to do that. He's off Monday, Tuesday. He's supposed to be there tomorrow, so I'll be getting in touch with him tomorrow for sure. So I would say by either tomorrow night or Thursday, look for a post from me on firming all that up.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty darn big area. There's a lot of room, but it's not like any of the sort of more improved sites. I think it's more or less a big dirt lot.
Yeah, it is a big dirt lot. That's where they do all the weigh-in for the boat tournaments.
Yeah, and that's I think we're going to have pretty good service there. So I'm planning on we'll have the awards there. And I forgot to mention we're going to have some cookout on Friday night. I haven't put all the pieces of that together yet. It kind of depends if I'm fishing in it myself. We're probably going to do like a hot dog hamburger cookout. If I'm not fishing in it, I'm going to see what we can do about cooking some steaks. But we're going to have a cookout for sure.
Yeah. What time do you think?
Say again, Bryce.
What time do you think for the cookout?
Well, we're off the water at 5, so I think people are going to get off the water, kind of re-rig, get set up and organized a little bit. So maybe, I don't know, 6:37-ish.
Okay. Save me a few dogs then. I'll be late Friday night. So
okay.
No pre-fish on this one for me.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I'm thinking probably that 6-7 o'clock kind of thing, and then I'll bounce this stuff off of you guys a little bit before firm it up completely. We still got 2.5 weeks, I think. most of 3 weeks actually. So, but we'll get it sorted out.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much for coming on. Hang out here for a few minutes because we are going to, I'm going to share my screen, and this usually takes me a second.
While you're doing that, Pat, everybody be sure to go check out Persuader Baits, Lubina Lures, Minecraft Lure Co., Southwest Custom Tackle, Copper State. These are all the
Stop in the Copper State.
Yep, these are all the people that support the club and make sure that we got baits to give away and just, a platform to stand on. So when you guys get a chance, go check all them out. And also, I still have some hats left for sale. I've been getting some good ideas on other hat styles that we could do, like a leather patch and like another fitted style hat. But we got to sell out these hats before I could do that. So I got, I think, 5 of the flat bills left and some more trucker style ones left, like maybe 4 or 5 of those left. I don't know offhand, but anyway, still got some hats. So if anyone's into that,
You're down the road, so I got one for you. We'll set that up because you were the one saying earlier you wanted to get a hat, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep,
Cool.
I got one here at the house, so I'll meet up with you here pretty soon, I'm sure.
sweet.
Sounds good.
All right, I'm gonna pull this up. This is our points right now. Let's see. I'm just gonna make this full screen. I don't know. Can you guys read that?
Little blocky.
Yeah, it's not too great. Yeah, that's the problem with this stuff. Okay, let me go to the other page here if it'll let me. Okay, how about that?
Yeah.
So this is Angler of the Year with the throwout. Okay, so right now leading, we've got Mark Kyle. Let me see if I can drag this over a little. Nope. Okay, so we got Mark Kyle's leading with 595 points. Right behind him, we've got Paul Travis with 580. Ramon and Patrick, yeah, they missed this last one, but then, like I say, this is with throwouts, so they're zeros there. They're still up in 3rd and 4th. So I'm going to post images of this either later tonight or tomorrow afternoon. The other part of this I wanted to show you, I'm probably going to have to zoom this in a little bit. Give me a second to see if I can do this. So this side over here that says state championship qualifiers, this is where we take the top 12 from each tournament. And so that's these guys over here. This is our top 12 out of each tournament. These guys are all qualified. And so now we've got people that double up in here. So that means out of 36 potential guys, we've got right now 28, okay, that are qualified for our state championship. So this other column, I'm calling this our running list from AOI. These are the people that are on the bubble here, okay? Because what we've got is a roll down. We're taking our top 25 after you subtract out the guys who are already qualified. So this list is going to be moving around, as we go through our next 3 tournaments, depending on where people end up. But, Kyle Holmes is up there pretty high. Quinlan, you guys can get an idea of where you're at here. And as we are right now, this would give us a total of 28 and 25. So 53 people that would be fishing in our state championship. Now we got 3 more tournaments to go, and we're going to add to this on the left side of the column for more people that finish in the top 12. The other side's always going to be 25, but it's going to be interesting to see as the year goes on how many people end up qualifying. So a lot of you guys, that think you might not be getting the finishes that you wanted, you're up here high enough be sure to stay in the race here because you can make it into the state championship. We're going to finish out the year with our Angler of the Year race. And then after that, we're going to have a separate state championship. And that state championship is where we're going to qualify 10% of the participants in the state championship to go to that Bassmaster Kayak Series National Championship in 2025. So you guys don't start giving up, man. You got opportunities, and there's this right-hand side over here. You're going to see a lot of movement over here. So keep your head in the game.
No, this is awesome. Good work, Pat. Thank you so much on this.
Okay, I'm going to drop. I get confused looking at two screens. Sorry. But I wanted trying to run two screens. It's like my cursor is showing up on both of them, and I get mixed up on which one to look at. Andrew just jumped on. Damn, missed most of us. Well, sorry. We got. I was saying earlier, we got a few technical difficulties with Facebook and StreamYard not letting me stream directly to our group page. And so I think we're short on people finding it for a little while. But as we go along and people understand what we're doing better, I think it'll get better and everybody will be on here. So that is basically all I have. Zoltan, Marta, you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
As far as this event goes, I think we covered everything pretty well. My God, I love fishing down there. I tell you what, it's just amazing. And watching everybody crack all these 90-inch bags is just awesome. This has been great. And thank you all that hard work on all that AOI and all the points and stuff, because I know how much work you put into those spreadsheets. And obviously they're very important because this is what gets us to our championships and our national level events.
Yeah, it takes a fair amount of effort, but the more I do this, the more I'm automating the spreadsheets. So it's getting easier and easier as I go along. It's actually, it's geeky as all get out, but for whatever reason, I enjoy messing around with spreadsheets.
Love to hear it.
Spoken like a true engineer.
Start calling you Mark Doss, dude.
Patrick, get back in here, brother. We need you back. All right. With that being said,
You can do it.
What's that?
I just said you can do it to Patrick.
You can do it.
All right, gentlemen. Thanks everybody for jumping in. Appreciate y'all.
Mark Hay must have had his daughter help him get the
You called
live
it,
going.
Roger?
Oh, he did.
That's true. But next time I got to show her how to turn the camera sideways. So I got learning to do.
You can call me, Mark. We'll get it figured out, dude.
Sounds good.
The next thing I need to figure out for our lives is I need to figure out how to do the giveaways and have some giveaways at the end. That'll be next. I don't know how to do it yet, but we'll figure it out. All right, guys. Any last nickels?
Hey, Pat, we're going to have hot dogs. I'm going to have hot dogs and stuff for you again at Roosevelt for the team event. So
Cool.
Yeah.
we'll be eating.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Right on, Mark. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm gonna end her here. Have a good night.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.